The topic is Christian community. We understand that Jesus came to inaugurate the reign of God. He did so by becoming one with us in the basic community, which is his own family, the Holy Family, and then later took on his mission for the world by building up his own Christian community, a community with Christ, and then the church having the mission of establishing the reign of God, with God choosing to work grace building on nature with and through us, establishing Christian communities. So we know that groups are good, people coming together, but groups are not community. A community is a group of people who choose to interrelate, interact, and intercommunicate. There's dialogue, there's respect for one another. And a Christian community, different from any community, certainly different from a group, is a community of faith. So each community, which is Christian, have members who share the faith of the apostles. The faith of the apostles is what we share with one another. Catechetics. Any parish has this present. Many parishes don't have a formation in the faith of adult Christians. Hopefully here at Villanova, we have and take advantage of the possibilities, the opportunities to grow in our faith together. It's not an individual activity, it's personal relationship with one another, a community of faith. We're also challenged to be as well as a community of faith. And because we have experienced Christ in our life, we become a community of worship, realizing everything is gift, all is given. And so our worship is a moment of gratitude and a thanksgiving to God for God's presence in our lives. Those opportunities when we come together, obviously challenged and invited, encouraged to pray personally, which is not individually, personally, but we come together as a community to pray God's holy people. So a community of faith, a community of worship, but we also, if we're to be a Christian community following Christ's example, to be a community of charity, to reach out to those most in need, the unlevel playing field, a preferential option for the poor, realizing that God has chosen to reach out to those most in need and chosen us to be his instruments to reach out to those in need. So it is not just a community of charity, which we're called to be. A Christian community has to be much more than a nonprofit, than an NGO. It is a community which is based on the faith of the apostles, which recognizes that without God, we cannot create a better world, but God has chosen us, charity, to reach out and work with God and others to build a better world. So we are also a Christian community when and if we are a missionary community. We are always reaching out. The tendency is to close the door, to keep others out. No, this is our group. That is not a Christian community. When we close out, we're excluding. And God is communion, inclusion. God is communion. God is relationship. So a Christian community is a community of faith, worship, charity, and a community which is missionary.